Hey guys, it's James Thacker here with Inspire Guitars, and we are working on our Great Guitar Build Off 2022 submission. This is Sephira, and Sephira is a crazy thing that popped out of my mind that I wanted to build some years ago and never did quite get started with it. So we're here now. We're building it for the Great Guitar Build Off. I hope everybody's going to dig it. We still got a lot of work to do. This is multifaceted build here. We've got angles and corners and add-ons and pieces, abalone inlays and stuff. We've got a lot done, but we've still got a lot more to do here. Today we are going to be cutting out the body. We're going to be working on getting a back cover for one of our add-ons. I've still got to do some sizing and stuff for that. I've got a mock-up of what I want to do. It is not a working model yet, but it is a mock-up of what I want to do. So we're going to get started with that. We're going to start out by cutting the body out, and then we're going to build onto that. We're going to do a back plate that kind of looks like the belly. You'll kind of get an idea of what this thing is going to be once I get it done. I'll show you some little tidbits and stuff what we're doing here. But let's get started today. Let's work on Sephira. Let's get Sephira cut out. Let's lose some of this body mass of these big blanks. I'll move you down here. You can see we've got two big basswood pieces here, and you can see the design. We've got our poplar neck that we've cut out, shaped, routed, and installed the carbon fiber rods in. We've got the headstock up there that has the abalone inlay, and we've got that unique truss rod cover that we haven't done yet. So let's just dive in. Let's get our safety glasses on and let's cut some wood here. I started before I turned the camera on, so please forgive me. I've got some of this one already cut, but we're going to take it from there. It won't take us long. I'm going to turn the sound off so that way I don't kill you guys with the sound of this saber saw here. Okay guys, I'm not cutting all the way down to my line. I'm cutting pretty close here because I want to leave some room. We'll take it over to the oscillating spindle sander and knock this down after we kind of do some carving and stuff on it. So I'm going to continue. We're going to go right on around this bout right here and get this thing carved out on this side, and then we'll flip it around and we'll do the other side. Save these chunks of wood because you can always find other uses for them. That's not scrap, that's just going to be repurposed material. So we've got one side cut out. Let's flip around and do the other side. We're making some sawdust today, guys. We are going to make a mess before this is over with. Okay guys, let me explain to you what I was using here. This is just my Ryobi brushless in its cordless +1 or 1 plus jigsaw. It's got orbital mode. I'm using it on number 2 there. It has a speed variation switch there. You got your lock switch down here. I'm using a Diablo. This is, I believe it is a 3.5 inch Diablo coarse cut wood blade on this. That gives me plenty of depth. I know that I'm going to get through everything that way and not get jammed up. I am going to switch over and I'm going to cut a little closer on some of these. I just couldn't quite get the jigsaw to do what I wanted with that thicker blade on there. So we'll let this thing, always be careful, these get very hot. We're going to switch over. I have a variation of bits here. This is a wood clean scroll blade, and it should, we'll have to check, it should work. It should go all the way through. Nope, it will not. So let's see if I've got something else that's just a little, that's plexiglass. And here's what I'm looking for. This is a wood clean reverse bit. This should work. This will give us just a little bit more maneuverability here with this. So I want to take out a little bit right here and a little bit over here on this side. Up here there's a couple of spots where I couldn't quite get the angle, so we'll work on this right here. Get this, always make sure, especially at this point, because the last thing you want is this thing to roll off your bench and break a neck, and then you're screwed again, starting over. All right, so I'm going to cut the volume again. Okay guys, so we've got our body cut out here, and we need to get the edge of it sanded and brought down to scale, or brought down to our pattern. But before we do that, let's look at a couple of things here that we may want to do first. Let's route out the cavity here for our pickups, and let's get our pickup ring and pickups here. And let's see what we've got here. Now that was, don't know what I'm thinking. I built this thing, right? Okay, so we know it goes roughly right about there. We will have to establish a center line on this bad boy. We will have magnets holding it down. Well, let's just start with that right there. And then we can change it if we need to. Okay, what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to measure. I've got my drill press, I just set it up over there. So we're going to break out our caliper here. And we're going to see how far down we need to drill to make this work. It looks like 20 mil. So we'll call it 20 mil. It was 19.89 something. I've got my caliper set to 19.99. Okay, so we're going to put this body on there. I've got a rough idea of what I want it to look like. Okay, now the thing that you have to remember with using these Forstner bits is that you are going to have a tip that is coming down as well. And this tip, I don't know if you can see that or not. That tip is going to poke through. So our 20 millimeters that we've set up here on this piece includes the tip. This thing won't go any deeper than 20 mil. So let me start this here, and we'll just go a little bit, and we'll look at it, and we'll go a little bit more. Looks good so far. We'll take a little bit more there. Looking good. All right, there's 20 mil. Let's see what that looks like without all the shavings and stuff in our way. You can see where I carved here. You can see inside of that, there's a little divot there, and that's where that center point is, where that comes through. So we have to be careful when you're doing this that you allow for that, so you don't go all the way through or create a divot. Okay, so now we've got some of the meat carved out of this thing. I actually see one more piece that I want to do, so I'm going to take it back over there real quick, guys, and knock out a couple pieces here. Maybe take that out if I can get to it, and a little piece there. And you just have to watch your depth and have a feel for it. Not everybody can visualize how deep you need to go, and that's the key. You have to visualize it. That's basically roughly our pickup cavity. Okay, so we've got our router, we've got our area routed out. We've got to tidy it up a little bit, and it's still not perfect. But what is holding us up from sinking this in is these little adjustment screws right here, stick down lower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to go down another little bit just to give those screws a place to rest. let's get to it. We still ain't done. Now, what we need to do is we're going to have to take all these off and come up with an alternate plan. Okay, so we broke the corner off of our pickup ring. I could glue that back, but not on a guitar like this. This is going to be a fantastic build. It's going to be a nice instrument, so let's just do it right. I'm just going to make another real quick. I will have to glue it up, let it sit, and then Tuesday when I start back, I will go back into shaping it and everything. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over to the chop saw and I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to make 2 pieces equal length and then we'll put a glue to it. I definitely don't want to do that. So let's do this. We will go right down the seam there. Do not want to lay that on the guitar. So let's put down a piece of plastic here that I can work off of. We'll take this and square it up or run it through. So I guess the next thing we need to do is I need to run over to the oscillating spindle sander and get this thing down to where it's supposed to be. So let me go do that. I'll give you guys a pause. We're using our oscillating spindle sander here. I already did some of it over on this side. I'm going to give you a little glimpse of what was going on here. Try to get you in a good position here so you guys can see. Gotta move my camera around a little bit. And hopefully you guys can see that. And we'll get started here. Okay guys, there is Sephira sanded out. We got a few more little things to do.